Many thanks for staying with me on the marketplace. Welcome back. Now, Ecobank Ghana has taken financial inclusion a step further by launching the Express Account promotion. It gives all Ghanaians devoid of their economic statuses the platform to transact businesses and make payments across 34 countries online. Managing Director of Ecobank, Daniel Saki, has been speaking about this new mobile application. He believes it sets the pace to rope in more of the unbanked population.
Well, Ecobank Ghana has taken financial inclusion a step higher. Of course, we're talking about the ability given to you out there, devoid of your economic status, to make payment online across 34 countries in that regard, at no cost at all at the comfort of your phone, in your homes, wherever you do find yourselves at. And this is on the background of the launch of their Express Point promotion, which happened at the head office of Ecobank. But we're going to be speaking to the head of customer banking to help us understand how this fits in perfectly to the issues of financial inclusion in the country. Hello, Mr. Squire, and many thanks for your time here with us. So, how timely is this promotion, if you could tell me, the Express Point promotion, the Express Accounts promotion?
So thank you very much. The name of the promo actually is the Express Account promo, and we say upgrade your life with us. In terms of its timeliness, we have been on this digital journey for 2 years. We launched the Ecobank mobile app in 2016, sometime end of 2016, and so far it's obvious that we have huge acceptance. We have over 1 million customers that have onboarded onto the app. We still are inviting lots more people to get on board, but we felt like it was time for us to begin to show people that, first of all, we appreciate the fact that you have joined this family. Secondly, that whilst we have 1 million customers, we do not expect that all the 1 million customers will struggle for space at Ecobank branches. We're saying at this point, just find an Express Point, which is an Ecobank agent, or if you have money in your mobile money wallet, begin to deposit into this Express account, and multiples of 50 will give you an entry into our loyalty promo.
But in there as well, we did hear that the amount that you deposit accrues some form of interest. Could you help us with the exact percentage of interest?
Absolutely. So with the Express account, the way we've structured it is it's a no fees account because we're trying to drive financial inclusion. And whilst it's not a classic savings account, to drive financial inclusion and to encourage people to put money in there, we're giving interest up to 4%. So it's not like a promo account. It's also a regular account that as you keep money in there, you also attract interest, which is the reason why people save, actually.
How does this help into the entire mobile money interoperability ecospace?
So absolutely, I think at the end of the day, the agenda, if you listen to the vice president of this country, is to drive a cash-light society, is to get to the point where we have enabled people to do their transactions without necessarily coming to cash first before they transact. And the fact that today you can, on your mobile app, you can pay school fees. In fact, you can open an account. You can move money from a wallet to a bank account or from a bank account to a wallet. You can pay utilities. You can pay school fees. You can pay your Uber. Basically, anything that you need to pay that the person has either a bank account or a wallet or an Ecobank Pay QR facility, you can pay. I mean, recently it was all over the place where we had given coffee Brookman sellers or roasted plantain sellers the QR code so that they can able to accept non-cash payments. So the entire ecosystem we are building actually is what mobile money interoperability or digital interoperability for me is trying to achieve, and that's the same thing we're trying to do, to enhance that interoperability drive by ensuring that we have multiple bank accounts that help the hitherto underbanked or unbanked to easily open a bank account, transact without the pain of walking to a bank branch. So, typical example, you have a small business, end of day you've got cash. What do? You find an Express Point close to you and you go and deposit money. And the Express Point also drives a cash-light society because They accept deposits, but they also help people to take cash when they need. So at the end of the day, the amount of cash that they have to go and bank is also lightened because they are helping move things around. It drives employment because these 1,500 points we have and the staff who work at these points are not Ecobank staff. These are third parties who've decided to go into this business themselves. So all these guys, the only thing they need as an investment is physical premises, permanent premises, and then they need just a mobile phone. Basically,
it's going to be of benefit to the entire value chain,
Absolutely.
Financial value chain. Mrs. Kwa, we're so grateful for your time here with us. And he is the head of consumer banking here at Ecobank. So it's all a move to ensure a cash-light society. I mean, if we walk into this very, branch, the head of Ecobank for that matter, just see the banking hall in that regard. You're going to be having people there, but with this very new product coming on board, what happens is that you're not having to walk all the way to a branch to transact your business. You could do so at the comfort of your home, in your business, anywhere you could find yourself at. Early on, we got in touch with the MD of Ecobank, Dan Saki, who has been explaining to us the timeliness of this very event and what this adds on to government's edge to ensure financial inclusion in the country.
On how we can ensure that we put into practice the often used or misused word of financial inclusion. So we both need to start the engagement process and start the conversation around it, that how do we ensure that our colleagues who are in the unbanked and often underbanked segments of the informal sector get financially included. Because there is ample evidence that when you have good financial inclusion, people are able then to step up, progress, and today we've tagged it, they are able to upgrade their lives. That is the only way that citizens in the country can participate.
And our report was by Charles Aite. Now, let's move yet to another bank. And the United Bank for Africa, UBA, has launched a new MasterCard to allow its high net worth customers to transact businesses on more than 1,000 sales devices across the world. The launch of the card, according to the bank, is part of measures to improve the use of electronic transactions within the economy. This is Ebenezer Sabuti's report.
The government's agenda to move the economy through digital transformation has been reaffirmed with the introduction of the many digital innovations, including the eSwitch payment system and the mobile number interoperability, among other initiatives. Financial institutions have also introduced products that seek to promote the use of digital platforms for payment of goods and services. The introduction of the UBA Platinum MasterCard could not have come at a better time when the country's economy is realizing a dream of going digital. Deputy Managing Director of UBA Ghana, Sonny Anwal, explains in an interview after the launch.
Ghana is going cashless, and we have tried to come up with a product to support the government and the people of Ghana so that you can curb this issue of carrying cash from one location to the other. You have just a plastic and a very high standard plastic that recognizes all over the world, that anywhere in the world you are. In fact, in 32 million merchant locations across the globe that you can use this card. So we try to come up with this card at this point in time to meet the need of those upwardly mobile people in this economy.
The bank has also disclosed that it has prepared all accounts to meet the new minimum capital requirements by the Bank of Ghana. According to Sonny Anwal, it has submitted all necessary documents and awaiting response.
We have done full audits. This is not even management account. We got external auditors. They've audited our books. It has been approved by them that we have met that money. We have sent we're just waiting to fine-tune certain other things in terms of the shareholders. We need to meet to approve it. The board has approved it. It's going to shareholders. The shareholders meeting will be holding any moment from next week, and then we will now send it to Bank of Ghana for their final approval before we come to the public.
So will there be an emergency AGM? Shareholders to approve?
Shareholders, yes. We're working on having that emergency shareholders meeting by next week. So once we get that approval from the shareholders, we will now send our application to Bank of Ghana for their final approvals for us to announce it. But we have a full audited account as at 30th of September 2018.
UBA will be embarking on a digital drive to get its customers to reduce the use of physical cash. Ibn Sabute's report for Joy Business.
Let's now move into the downstream petroleum sector now, and some of the major oil marketing firms have started reducing their prices at the pumps. This is coming after Joy Business projected some significant reduction for the various petroleum products from this week. The adjustments are in line with the bi-weekly review in prices. George Rafi has more.
What actually got GOIL to say would like to go into the upstream area?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think for every company, you need...
The reduction by some of the major oil firms in the country, like GOIL, Shell and Allied, will result in the amount paid by consumers for the various petroleum products reduced from this morning. Based on GOIL and Shell quotes, a litre of diesel and petrol would go for 4 cedis 98 pesos. However, another major player, that is Allied, is selling a litre of petrol at 4 Ghana cedis 94 pesos, while diesel is going for 4 Ghana cedis 95 pesos, slightly lower than that of GOIL and Shell. But for those who are interested in gallons, well, diesel and petrol from this morning be sold at 22 Ghana cedis 41 pesos. That is, if we go with the quotes of Shell and GOIL, since they have the largest market share. This represents 45 pesos reduction on a gallon based on the last week review. But in what can be described as competition at work, Shell first announced a price reduction, selling each litre of the various products at 5 cedis 5 pesos, but was forced to drop prices further after a major competitor, GOIL, announced their review. For some, this is the essence of the deregulation policy, to result in serious competition, but to the benefit of consumers. Now, looking at what has happened on the international market and with predictions of further declines in crude prices, then consumers should brace themselves for further reductions in the coming weeks at the pumps, as long as the cedi remains fairly stable.
So let's still stay on this development and do some analysis with the energy expert Kwadwo Poku, who has just joined us on phone. Kwadwo Poku, good afternoon and welcome to the market, please.
Hi, good afternoon and good evening to your viewers. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you loud and clear. Now, my first question is, what's your take on this particular significant reduction? Are they in line with the margins projected?
Well, as we are all aware, it's a deregulated market. And what NPA does with these OMCs is that they give them an indicative price. Now, the indicative price, they have a range within which they now play. It is based on competition that would determine which end of the margin that is given to them that they go for. As we are all aware, GOIL and Puma has led the way in giving the 4.96 and 4.98 that we see on the market today. So it will now make other OMCs also now have to compete at that price. What I have always advocated and told drivers and consumers is to be very aware of where you buy your fuel. Now, if a company is giving you 4.96, make it an effort not just to drive into any filling station, but also make it an effort to go to the place that is giving you a cheaper fuel. It is only when we reward these companies who give cheaper fuel with our patronage that will now encourage others to follow suit. If the price war escalates, we might even see prices go further down.
All right. Now, so this is the second consecutive time that we've had, a reduction in prices within the space of 2 different windows. Now, looking at what is going on the international market, we have petrol crude prices ranging between the $60 mark. Now, and we also have some relative stability in the dollar cedi parity rate. Now, do you think that it could have gone down further, or this is a perfect, reflection of what's happening?
No, it can definitely go down further, and I'm saying that it can go down further if we, the consumers, help with the price war by rewarding those that are prepared to reduce their prices. The international market is volatile. It can be up today and be down tomorrow. So in the next window, which is in 2 weeks, we will now have to monitor and see what the prices is. But we have a downward trend in the international market of crude oil prices. What we should be mindful of is that crude oil prices doesn't have a direct lineage with Platts, which is what we buy the petrol and diesel. Petroleum crude oil prices can really go low, and Platts, which is the petrol prices, CIF or FOB, might hold up a bit better, because bear in mind the deliverables. Crude oil might be in the tank. He does not need to import until maybe next year, January. So as a result, he does not need to reduce the prices immediately, because what he has in his tank, he bought it very expensive. So we need to be very careful in trying to correlate the day-to-day crude oil prices with the Platts prices.
All right, now, we certainly, as a country, we'll certainly be making some gains because we are a net importer of crude oil or crude products. Now, at this time, when we're having some favorable conditions, what should we be doing as a country?
Well, you remember when some of us said that fares, as in transport fares and the likes of the rate it escalates commodity prices, should not be allowed to be increased. We should leave transport fares the way it is, so that there isn't a domino effect of all prices going up. Now, we as a country that export crude oil, in this arena, we are losing revenue, because bear in mind, if crude prices are coming down, it means that the finance minister is not going to get as much as he hopes to get in the budget. But if Ghanaians, in terms of disposable income, how much money we have in our pocket, transport fares have not gone up, and taxis are cheaper and trotro is cheaper, then it means that the exchequer, which is the finance minister, cannot come and ask us for more taxes. So we will have a bit more money in our pocket. But if the crude prices continue to come down, it means that government will not get as much money as it has foreseen in their budget. Because bear in mind, I think they used $55 in the budget that was just read. So we have to be careful that we, as much as we will be enjoying cheaper petroleum prices, we have to also keep our eye on the fact that the national coffers might be shortchanged.
All right, many thanks for your time. Kwadwo Poku is an energy expert, and he's been sharing his thoughts on the current situation where crude oil prices or petrol prices have witnessed a significant reduction at the pumps. Still staying within the downstream petroleum sector, in line with setting up the stage to position the youth to benefit from the massive investments from the oil and gas development, GOIL says ExxonMobil will employ more Ghanaians in the sector. Last Wednesday, Ghana Oil Company signed a joint operating agreement with ExxonMobil for deep-water Cape 3 Point area oil exploration. Chief Operating Officer of GOIL, Alex Azeo, has been speaking with my colleague, Norvan Akwahiford.
What actually got GOIL to say would like to go into the upstream area?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think for every company, you need a very good vision that will drive everybody into achieving great heights. And as you are aware, we have been at the downstream industry for all this while, and the plan to venture into the upstream industry was hatched somewhere around 2014 when we started talking to some oil majors. Unfortunately for us, most of the discussion that we had with the oil majors never yielded any fruits. Along the line, we're all preparing ourselves because we thought that as a very strong indigenous oil marketing company who had played very crucial roles in the country in the downstream, we believed that the time was right for us to go into upstream, especially in 2007 when the country also discovered oil. So we have had these elaborate plans, and it's also culminated in the board authorizing the setup of GOIL Offshore to be able to take care of this upstream activity. And it is very important to note that for almost all the countries who are into most of these upstream activities, they always develop very strong local brands to go in there, because at the end of the day, it is very, very good for the country. Somebody will ask, well, do you have the balance sheet to be able to do that?
Even before we go in that onto the balance sheet area, You want to go into an area. I think that the first question, if I would have asked you, is, are you technically proficient?
Yeah, thank you very much. That is why we are forming this alliance. You recall that in the laws of this country, when these oil majors are coming, they need to partner. The laws say you need to get someone, local company, strong local company, to be able to pick up 5% commercial interest in any deal that will be signed. As you are aware, GMPC always takes 15% carrying interest, and 5% has to go to a local company. So we had already positioned ourselves, and we're very clear in our mind that it was an area to go. So we had positioned ourselves, and right from the board all the way down, the previous board, the current board, all the way down, everybody, you know, we all put our heads together and to ensure that we take this opportunity when they came along. So we were not surprised at all that after ExxonMobil had done all the due diligence in this country, they felt that GOIL was in a very good position to partner ExxonMobil. So when the opportunity came, why not? As an indigenous company who were expecting to play a major role out there, we thought it was a good opportunity never to let it pass by.
I see. I mean, the next question would be, what do you put on the table in terms of the 5%? GMPC, yes, they have a carried interest. As per the law, you are supposed, whereas the law also says there should be a company, a local company that should also partner. What do you bring on board? Is it equity or cash that you are putting on the table as far as that 5%, you know, partnership that you're supposed to have in this particular exploration with ExxonMobil is concerned?
Before I answer the question, I will say that every big organization starts in a very small way. Check the history of Microsoft. Check the history of all the major players. Check the history of ExxonMobil. It started from somewhere. And they started at the point when some of them started their big companies in garages, when there was virtually no capital. The point is that anytime there's an opportunity, that's why we have financial institutions, we have people who have capital to support very fruitful ventures. The most important thing is to be able to organize yourself in such a way that you make use of the opportunities and present very credible feasibility and viable reports for everybody to know that yes, what you are undertaking will serve, you know, will be very, very profitable and serve the purpose for which it has been set up. So once you come out with that and then you have a very good business plan, everybody will, I must tell you that ExxonMobil did not just select GOIL on a silver platter. They had their own due diligence. They looked at our books. They looked at individuals. They looked at the board level. They looked at the management capability. They looked at the technical staff that we have. Finally, I can also let you know that one of our main guys who was also helping us to drive this ExxonMobil deal was a former staff of ExxonMobil. So they had that confidence in GOIL. So technically, they knew they were dealing with very professional people in GOIL. And I was not surprised at all that after they had done all the due diligence, and it was a painstaking due diligence, it took over 6 months.
6 months?
Yes, and they had to go through back and forth. We had to give explanations on our books, balance sheet, profit and loss account. We need to do all our projections. We had to do how this venture was going to impact on our cash flow for the next 5-7 years. We had to go through all that, and they had a full assurance from us. And finally, I must say that we also had support from some financial institutions in the country that is also has backed us to be able to, you know, make sure that whatever we are contributing to the pool was acceptable to ExxonMobil. So I would say that financial arrangements and everything has been put in place, and we know that because of the elaborate plans that we have, it is not going to have any negative impact at all whatsoever on our books.
And that was Chief Operating Officer of oil marketing company GOIL talking about this relationship with international oil giant ExxonMobil. And on that note, we wrap up this afternoon's edition of The Marketplace. Many thanks for your company. For more business news, log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Have a good afternoon.
With the names.